Okay, well, welcome everybody. I know that you've all come into this room and are watching this screen to learn more about 3D Organon, one of the premier global leaders in virtual reality and anatomy. I don't want to take all the thunder. I'm going to let Krystyna introduce more. Um, and this is Krystyna. Krystyna, can you introduce yourself and a little bit about your company?
Hi, Jay. Thank you, first of all, for inviting us to this event. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Krystyna Siposova. I'm a sales manager at 3D Organon. I'm looking after the North America, Central and South America regions, also Oceania. And 3D Organon, as you said, it's currently the leading XR medical anatomy platform globally. And what we aim to do and what we try to achieve with our solution is to shape the future of medical and healthcare education. Yes, so I would like to show you around soon. Please feel free to ask questions, and I'm happy to make a virtual tour for all the ones that are attending.
Yeah, I have a few questions before we jump right into the platform. First of all, everybody that's watching, if there's a few tech difficulties, that's just the way live streams go. So bear with us. We'll do the best we can. I want to know roughly, just exactly how many schools across the world have deployed 3D Organon in their classes, roughly. I'm not going to hold you to the exact number, but
Yeah, roughly, we are proud to say that more than 250 educational institutions are using 3D Organon currently in their educational program. So mostly universities, colleges, high
Mhm.
schools, also hospitals, clinics, museums, libraries, globally in all the continents. So yeah, that's the number, and we are aiming for more. So yeah, inviting all the educators,
Mhm.
academics, medical professionals to start exploring and immerse themselves in this amazing uh, world of opportunities for
Yeah,
teaching and learning human anatomy with XR technologies.
excellent, excellent. You know, that's what schools ask us a lot. Being VedX, we interact with a lot of schools trying to roll out the virtual reality into their curriculum, et cetera. And what the
Mhm.
schools really want to know is how many more are doing this because they never want to be first. Well, a lot don't want to be first, but they just want to make sure it works. A lot of time and effort goes into it. So it's exciting to see that you have over 200 schools globally and how it's working. Now, I know we're going to take a tour, but before we jump on that tour, just kind of concisely let us know what is 3D Organon and what is Skylect, and then we'll jump into both.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to showcase 3D Organon today, which is an anatomy platform for teaching and learning human anatomy across virtual reality, mixed reality, augmented reality devices. And also we do support conventional devices such as desktop computers, tablets, smartphones, if you want to combine both ways of learning and teaching. Skylect, it's a XR education metaverse and a collaboration platform. It's our parallel project, and our idea was to maybe do something a bit more different. Since we are in the metaverse, we would like to do a virtual tour in the Skylect platform. So we have created the experience so that we can guide you through the main features and through the most important points of 3D Organon. So instead of using a flat screen or flat experience, like just maybe some PPTs or PDFs, we're gonna dive in and we're gonna be in virtual reality showing you what 3D Organon is about. And so just also to let you know, 3D Organon has been the first anatomy application in virtual reality, launched in 2016. So we're the first ones in the world. And since then, we are continuing developing and adding more features and functions. And currently, we are the most advanced and
Mm-hmm.
most completed anatomy application globally on the market.
Awesome, awesome. What I'm really excited today to show everybody a brand new piece of tech inside of here, and that is the ultrasound. You can do an ultrasound on a pregnant mom in virtual reality to practice and know what to look for. And I mean, that's super, super exciting. I know that they have training ultrasound machines on real people and experimental stuff, but the cost prohibition on that compared to this is, night and day. Once you have this, you necessarily need those really expensive machines.
Exactly, that's quite unique, and also we were the first ones this year that we launched the ultrasound VR simulator in the edition 2022, which is supported with the PC-powered VR devices for now. It's going to be on a standalone VR soon, and the ultrasound VR simulator does not need any extra equipment, any mannequins. You just need the VR headsets, your controllers. The controller serves as a probe when performing the ultrasound simulation, and I'm going to show you how it looks like. It's quite impressive. You're going to be using the 3D Organon models.
Where you're just like this, pretending
yeah,
it's
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, you put the probe upside down, the controller upside down, and you holding the grip button, performing the ultrasound simulation with the 3D models. Yeah.
Now, many of the people here watching, wondering, oh, so is this just for schools, or can individuals have a chance to purchase and download it too? I think that would be a question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Of course, 3D Organon is here for anybody, mostly medical professionals, educators, students, and educational institutions, but individual users. So for sure, we have thousands of individual users, even VR enthusiasts. Whoever wants to learn about anatomy can use 3D Organon for their study purposes or for teaching or for their professional activities. So yeah, individual users are welcome to download, install, get the application.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And for everybody watching, if you want to bring your school into 3D Organon, if you're an educator watching us right now, if you just go behind us is a door from this screen, and it says 3D Organon on it. Inside there, we've created a waiting room that will allow you to put your inquiry in there, whether you're a school or whether you're an individual. And so then those inquiries, we can then get a hold of you and make a proposal. So without further ado, let's see it, Krystyna. Let's see your software.
Okay, let me go. Let me move to Skylect.
Okay.
I'm gonna be there soon.
Okay, and while you're doing that too, just for those that are watching, VEDX stands for Virtual Education Exploration. Every 2 weeks, we have a seminar here in the Education District, either highlighting a school that's come on board in virtual reality or highlighting a company that is advancing learning in the world. And so it's sort of like a VR cast, and I hope to see you all come back in the next 2 weeks for the next one. So, and that'll be probably on a new library coming up called Future Class. But looks like, Krystyna, you ready?
Yes, I am in Skylect right now. So that's the platform, the XR Education Metaverse I mentioned just a few minutes ago. I'm going to guide you through this virtual tour. Also, just that you know, you can please or feel free to download the Skylect application from the Skylect website, and then you can also access all these experiences for free. So feel free to go into 3D Organon experience. It's a session where you can just go inside and go and explore also in your own time and go through all the materials that are available. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, with 3D Organon, we do transform medical and healthcare education through the use of immersive technologies, which are applied to teaching and learning human anatomy. We have the support of the virtual reality headsets and the conventional devices here, and I'm going to go through this really nice tour. So the possibility in Skylect is to create your own. I'm not going to talk a lot about Skylect, but so that you understand how it works, you can create your own space, put your floor, ceilings, decoration, upload videos, PDFs, 3D models. So it gives you a vast scale of tools and opportunities to create an experience. It can be an educational experience. It can be an activity that you like, a hobby, whatever you want to create for the audience, for your students, or for others. So in this case, we have prepared an informational experience about 3D Organon. So let's have a look at the video. There are a few main features mentioned here as an example. 3D Organon is currently available in 16 languages, which is the highest number of languages that the app is available in, compared to other applications for learning and teaching human anatomy. There are plenty of instructional tools within the app that are very useful for the educators, such as the 3D painting or 2D painting tool, which is really nice for surface anatomy, for organ mapping. We have the slicing tool where you can cut and do different planes, cross-sections, and then study further on those cross-sections. There are 18 microscopic anatomy models. There's a growth tool where you can simulate the tumor growth, see and show how the tumor can expand to other organs. There are bony spurs tool. You can also demonstrate bony spurs. There are more than 550 body actions for organs, muscles, and joints. There's a pain tool for pain effects. So plenty of tools that allows you to deliver a very complete anatomy lecture. There's an X-ray mode where you can create structures and have them in an X-ray visualization. Augmented reality is on tablets and smartphones available. In 3D Organon, we have a topographic system-based and regional anatomy approach. And this is quite unique. That's a mixed reality where you can visualize the anatomical structures in your environment. It's supported with a few VR headsets on the market. And we do, of course, support the most important VR headsets.
That's great. A couple of questions on that 3D Organon. Is it just available currently in the Quest, or is it available in multiple spaces?
Sorry, if it's available, can you repeat the question? Sorry, Jay.
Which headsets? Oh, you're going to show me the headsets.
Oh yeah, exactly. You already anticipated my next move. So we just support the major standalone VR and PC-powered VR devices. So from standalone VR, the most popular ones and the ones that we do support are the Oculus Quest 2. Mm-hmm. And the HTC Vive Focus 3, which is also excellent solid VR headset. Mm-hmm. And we are going to support quite soon, the Pico Neo 3 as well. Okay. So yeah, those three for now. And then from the PC-powered VR devices, there are plenty of headsets we support. So HTC Vive Pro Series, Cosmos, Oculus mm-hmm. Rift S, Valve Index, all the Microsoft Mixed Reality VR headsets. HP Reverb G2. So most of the major virtual reality devices. And the good thing is that we do not only assist the educational institutions with the implementation of 3D Organon as such, but also with the whole setup, with the choice of virtual reality devices depending on the use case. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are here to support, and also of course VEDX is here to support all the interested academics and medical professionals with the most appropriate hardware. Well, I'm going to move on a little bit through the experience. So there are plenty of videos that you can have a look at. So I'll just skip a few and show you some of them. Here as an example, I wanted to maybe point out, you can use 3D Organon to prepare study materials mm-hmm. for students. Yeah. So what you can do is, while you are in virtual reality, you can record your screen. You have this possibility on Quest 2 from the Oculus home menu, where you can do the screen recording, or you can just cast to a screen and then record your own screen.
So a couple of questions for the educators watching right now out here in the audience. Is this a site license, or is it a per user license, or is it a per headset license that they would have to order?
So we offer licenses per device. So one license is allocated per one device. There is no restriction as for the user who is using the headset. So whoever will have access to that VR device can use 3D Organon. Great. So it's always one license linked to one device ID. Mm-hmm.
That's always the question there. So
Exactly.
what we've been telling universities that are worried about actually purchasing the devices and trying to make them all work shared in a shared model. There were two ways. I just want to be clear for educators. One is that we recommend, if you're a university or campus, that you actually just sell the Quest headset in your bookstore and put it on the curriculum syllabus as a required lab fee. I mean, $2.99 is the price of a chemistry book for the headset, and then the student has a headset. Now, at that point, for the device that you want to have registered with 3D Organon, you would register that student's headset during that semester, that lab set. Now, the other option then is to literally have the university have a rolling case, lockable, UVC protected, and sitting in a lab that they can use, or putting it at the library that they can check out as students, much like people do with the laptops that don't have a laptop, which is far and few between now. But when it started, it was for the same reason, disbursement of headsets. So just keep that in mind for all educators in the US who are watching, I mean, globally, but a lot are in the US today.
Yeah, exactly, Jay. That's what I wanted to mention also further on. Very good point. Library is really good space where you can store and where you can offer the VR headsets for rent, or even students can have the experience in the library in the designated area, and the same in the lab. As you mentioned, like, it's a really good idea to acquire several number, let's say 20, 30, 40 virtual reality headsets, depending on the number of students and the space available.
Yeah.
And the option for the student to buy the headset. So this is happening in several institutions already, where students are getting their own virtual reality devices as part of the requirement. This really depends on the school, and then the student can use it for his or her own personal purposes, but also for study purposes. It can put plenty of applications in there. It's a really good investment. So we do suggest both ways of investing and acquiring the hardware.
And the other part about that too is, you know, a lot of there's some other applications that schools are doing on their own, creating their own, let's say, medical application, which is fine. I think that this would be a supplement to any of those schools because of the detail and the modes that you can go in. And it's not simply just like, oh, another anatomy. This is in depth and accurate and usable for all students and teachers.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, we are aware that there are several institutions that are developing their own apps too, but the advantage of having such a complete anatomy application as we do is that we started as the first ones. We are pioneers in the field. We do have a very extensive graphic designer and development team, but the core of 3D Organon, the core team those are anatomy professors and medical professionals who are all the time guiding the team when it comes to the content. So currently we have more than 12,000 anatomical structures across 15 body systems in 3D Organon, plus thousands of definitions. So clinical correlations, cadaveric images, pathology images. So there is so much content we've been working on since so many years, and we are adding new features and functions every year. So it's really, really worth it to explore and to start implementing the technologies and the tools that we are creating for you, for the academics, for students, for medical professionals. So our objective is to contribute to more innovative education. So yeah, definitely.
I'm really interested too in these schools that you've worked with, the outcomes from the learning objectives in terms of higher test scores in their exams, or more engagement or more interactivity. I'm not sure if have you done any pilot research on those schools and 3D Organon to this point?
Yes, so we were fortunate to cooperate with several schools, really prestigious universities in different countries, and they used 3D Organon to perform a study in the last 1 to 3 years, depending on the institution, and the outcomes were very positive. So we do have outcomes from different studies, and there are more and more studies that are being undertaken right now. So if you are interested to have a closer look at the study and the outcomes, and to see how positive the impact of using virtual reality for teaching and learning anatomy is, please feel free to contact us or VEDEX, and we will share those publications with you so you can have a closer look. But yeah, there is a lot of evidence currently that shows and demonstrates the importance and the usefulness of virtual reality in education.
Great.
So yeah, Jay, so just really showing you, coming back to what I was mentioning before, when it comes to the different study materials the educators can prepare. So not only using 3D Organon or virtual reality in real time, you can also record study materials. So for example, here we have prepared a short video about the vertebral anatomy, where you can show different types of vertebra and the bone mapping of different vertebrae. Let's have a look what you can do. So in the same way, you can be recording your screen, showing your students.
And that's what I wanted to point out too. What you're seeing here is not, you don't come into Skylect and learn. You actually go into 3D Organon unless it's like a meeting or class here in Skylect. Yes. So just to be clear, that this flat screen is just a recording of being inside of the 3D Organon app.
Exactly, and Skylect is just a tool, just a medium or channel that we use in this particular interview to show you how 3D Organon looks like, but we are not in the app itself. So this is just an example. We are showing different parts, landmarks, and surfaces of vertebrae. When you hover the laser point on different landmarks, you can see the terminology, the labels. We have also a list of all the landmarks, parts, and surfaces that is available. There is a description of every structure. So it's very, very complete, beautifully colored. This is quite difficult for students to learn. So having this aid, this tool, is just invaluable.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
okay, I'll stop the video. So, so did you have an idea what options you have? So it's an example.
Shall we head over to the ultrasound?
Yeah, exactly. So this is the highlight we wanted to show you. You can also upload some beautiful 3D models on this platform. We have a cool multipolar neuron here. It's really nice. So it's one of the microscopic anatomy models. We have just uploaded here for you to see. Well, so yeah, this is the edition 2022. It's been released a few months ago. We've announced the availability of 16 languages in 3D Organon, and the Dutch language has been added as the last one in this 2022 release. Dutch is quite unique. We're really proud to have this available, but apart from Dutch, of course, there is Spanish, Italian, Georgian, Polish, Portuguese. There is Chinese, traditional and simplified, Russian, Ukrainian, French, Greek.
This might be really interesting for one of our partner universities, UCAM, out of Spain, especially knowing that you have the multiple languages in your app, not just in the Quest headset, which is automatic for their language selection, but actually in your app is Spanish. And it's very helpful because there hasn't been a lot of creation, especially at this class, call the A class, creation of anatomy. So that would be exciting.
Yes, exactly. The whole knowledge base of 3D Organon has been translated into those languages. So you can basically select the primary and secondary language. You can have two languages running simultaneously.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to do is to allow the users all over the world to be able to switch to their own language and study anatomy in their native language, which is a big advantage. We want the future doctors being able to explain to their patients their pathologies, or want to approach their patients in their own language, which is very important. Of course, English is the most widely used language when teaching and learning anatomy, but we do have countries, France, Germany, and as you said, a huge Spanish-speaking market where
we just had an inquiry about from a Polish university. So I'm gonna have to let them know that this is in Polish. I didn't realize that. That's
Yeah,
great.
it is in Polish. Yeah, and it's translated by medical professionals or anatomy professors. So we do collaborate with professors mostly when we do translations. So the translations, it's very accurate. Yeah.
Well, let's
okay.
jump over to the simulator. Sorry.
Yeah, there are so many things to show you. Yeah, but let's
keep us moving because we've got about 10 minutes left.
Okay, and we want to see a bit more about from 3D Organon too. So let's move on. Okay, perfect. So as we already said at the beginning, the biggest highlight of the edition 2022 is the ultrasound VR simulator, the first ultrasound VR simulator in the world, where you immerse yourself in virtual reality and you can perform the ultrasound simulation for educational and training purposes with 3D Organon models, so that you can imagine how it works. There is no physical object in front of you. You are passing the probe, the controller, over the surface of those virtual 3D models, and the reference point for you to know where the model is located is a slight vibration in your hand. You will know whether you go too deep or you are too far from the structure. So as I mentioned before, you are using the controller as a probe. You can select from 3 different types of probes. So we have the linear, curved, and cardiac probe. And there are plenty of other features available. So I think the best would be to show you this video where we have summed up the main features of the ultrasound simulator.
Excellent. All right. Excellent. I was scanning your QR code from the last poster to make sure it worked. So that's cool.
It worked well?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so after watching this video, I mean, I really feel the same excitement of seeing like what the future of education is. So yeah, you just need to get the VR headsets, put them on, get the trial from us to start with. Get the trial. We believe we're gonna put the trial on the Global XR Academy, right?
Yep. On Global XR Academy, along with all the XR classes from our different partners. We will have a section for 3D Organon, and you can do a demo, or as an individual, you can buy access to the library with your headset.
Exactly. So. Feel free to visit Global XR Academy offering and get the demo for 3D Organon for the PC-powered VR. If you don't have PC-powered VR headsets now, you can use Quest 2, and you can use the Oculus Link cable or the wireless AirLink. And you can also then try the ultrasound VR simulator, which is supported on PC-powered VR headsets currently. Cool. Yeah, and once you try, you will understand the impact of the of that experience. So yeah, I hope we're gonna have plenty of inquiries.
Yeah, me too.
Soon. Okay, perfect, Jay. There are so many things to show you, but I would love to invite everybody to, as I mentioned before, to just download Skylect, go in and go through this experience where you can have a look at the main use cases. There is a lot of information in here. You can just have this beautiful virtual tour. But I think we would, or you would love to see with more maybe from the app itself. So what do you think? Should we jump into 3D Organon now?
Yeah. Let's jump into that real quick.
Okay, great. So let me adjust my settings so that I can switch between different screens. Give me 1 second.
Okay, no worries at all. In the meantime, I'll talk a little bit more about just what we're doing. So a lot of the educators that come over to VEDX or see us in the Infiniverse or see us in AltSpace and Remio and all the places we do seminars, they wonder what we do. Well, it's the fact that if you're with a school, we help you get everything squared away for your VR, advise, consult, and project manage all the way until implementation. And so we even train your teachers. So depending on if you want in-person or virtual, that's an option. And so we can just get everything squared away. We partner with very specific companies that we believe in, like 3D Organon. And so the price is the same. We're not marking it up any more than you would do right straight through 3D Organon, but it comes with all the other benefits that VEDX offers too, which is being able to add other things and other apps and help you with curriculum and development. So all that to say, inquire at VEDX and we can get you all set up.
Yeah, great. Jay, tell me if you can see.
Yep, I can.
Okay. So let's have a look at a bit how 3D Organon looks like inside
the app. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So once you enter 3D Organon, you'll be welcomed by a skeleton. There is a user interface that looks like this. So the main approach in the standalone VR version is the regional anatomy approach, where you can access different structures by regions. Those regions are classified by body systems. Mm-hmm. So let's have a look at the muscular system first, just to give you an idea. So what you can do with the model, you can rotate the model. I mean, like you have all the functionality with the controller, so you can rotate the model in all the directions, horizontally, vertically. You can put it in a prone and supine position. You can move it up and down.
Hey, Krystyna, I got a challenge for you, because this is live and it's fun. If you can't, it's okay. I just had my knee surgery done, so I was wondering if we could look at the anatomy of a knee.
Of the knee?
Yeah.
Okay. Just that would be good. So let me show you in the knee. I will go to the knee soon. I have a really nice view of the knee. I just wanted to show first the functionality of the controllers, and so that what type of commands do you have. So as you could see before, you can enter different cavities. So feel free to put your head inside of the structures, and you will be able to discover the organs from within, which is quite unique, and see all the relationships between anatomical structures in different cavities inside. So here I'm picking a different regional anatomy scene from the nervous system. So this is the circle of Willis. Where I want to just show you a few other functionalities and the tools that we have. So how you get into deeper layers of the organs is that you can remove or disassemble the models, so remove the structures, or you can hide them. By hiding them, you will be removing the structures be able to go inside. There is this flag function that you've seen before, where you can turn on and turn off the labels, which is really good for assessment purposes, for self-evaluation as well. You can go back or reset the whole scene. So there are hundreds of pre-configured anatomy scenes that help the educator to start the lecture, or to give the lecture on the model already. So you don't have to create your scene from scratch. You go to your preferred anatomy scene and you can start explaining and deliver the lecture in real time.
Now, if it wasn't just a lecture in real time, but if somebody wanted to assign it, each week there's a new assignment, like go explore the spinal column, pull out vertebrae T10 and vertebrae 32 and look closely at it and memorize the structure. That way, in the syllabus, the students would just go in here on their own and explore like that, right?
Exactly, and it's a very good idea actually to give assignments to students. with the assignments that will require the use of the application, so that the students are motivated to go inside and explore the lecture or the particular topic. And for example, you can ask students to record a short video and explain certain anatomical region. So this is really nice, and then you can just share this video with the professor for evaluation, or you can do snapshots or do something creative. So I know that there are educations that they made like a small like a competition for students, and there was a certain theme, and who made like the most creative and innovative video for that particular anatomy theme. So that was the winner of the competition, had a reward. So by engaging students and motivating them to use the app, you will have a big increase in interest and engagement. So I'm showing you a few more scenes before we go to the knee. So I'll show you the knee soon. I just wanted to show you the cadaveric images. They're very useful, especially when students don't have access to anatomy labs, or when they live in remote areas, or during the pandemic where you could not access the labs. So when you click on a certain region or structure, you will have the most common pathologies available, the clinical correlations with the description. And when you click on the cadaver, so you'll have the cadaveric images related to that particular area available.
That's cool. Like that's a real image too, right?
Those are real. Yeah, exactly. You can make snapshots. You can write notes on top of the cadaveric images. You can select the image you want from the images available, and you can reposition that cadaveric image and put it next to the 3D model for comparison purposes. This is really, really useful. So there's a big number of cadaveric images for every
and I think one thing to just kind of point out, there'll be two questions that will come from this. I can just anticipate them from the audience. One would be, is this a multiplayer function that you're in right now? Can another student come in here and join in?
Yeah, so right now I am not in the multi-user, but there is the network. You can see the network icon on the left. So when you go to network, you can create a virtual space. You can create a virtual room, and other users can join this virtual room from anywhere in the world, and from any type of device, and they can attend the lecture in real time. It's a huge advantage to eliminate these barriers that we have as distance, as the accessibility to
expensive labs.
Yeah, exactly. So there are plenty of institutions, they don't even have, for example, they don't have cadavers, they don't have the wet lab. So it's a very, very useful tool. And also, as during the pandemic that we had, so this 3D Organon really saved so many institutions and educators, where they were able to deliver lecture from their homes in a very innovative way, and they were able to meet all of them in the same virtual space. They will be able to looking at the same thing at the same time. There is a voice chat, so you can speak. You don't need any other external app to actually to communicate with the users inside of the multi-user, and you also have the text chat available. So everything is within 3D Organon, and we are working on a very advanced multi-user for 3D Organon, which is going to be a very big thing, aligned with the current trends. So hopefully we're going to have these multi-users soon. We are working on that currently. So I was showing you before a few more cadaveric images for the pelvic, for the pelvic floor, for the female pelvis. So sagittal section of the female pelvis is really nice, cadaveric image for that. And now I'm just demonstrating a few microscopic anatomy models, which are beautiful, very unique, all of them designed by us. Those models are full thickness 3D models. Once you are in VR and you experience it actually in virtual reality environment, you'll understand how impactful it is. From the flat screen, maybe that you are in VR, but you see it like on a video in front of you, so you may not have this immersive experience as
I mean,
you
I think
should.
you know, everybody watching today from the Infiniverse is already what I would call believers, because when you show this kind of stuff to on a flat screen, it just does it is just not as interactive. But that's the point, right? When you get in the goggles, you go into a world that you're not distracted, and that all you're
Exactly.
doing is focused on this one learning task. Whereas on a screen, I could be looking at this and look over email over there too.
Yeah.
And so that's why I always encourage the schools we work with. Yeah, there's some companies that do PCVR, but what are you accomplishing with PCVR? Yeah, it's 3D, I get it, but then when you actually go into the VR headset, you have a whole new perspective, and it
It's a very
sticks.
good, very good point that there is zero distraction. You are totally immersed. You are focused on what is in front of you. You are in a new world.
Yeah.
So there is no distraction at all, and this is really actually a big plus, a big advantage for students that are currently have many distractions around them all the time, cell phones, etc. Oh, we are getting to. So now I wanted to show you a few
knee joint.
few body actions. So let's have a look at the flexion and extension of the knee joint.
My knee was fully reconstructed yesterday. So.
Oh my God, you are still after anesthesia, I believe, quite under very painful conditions right now. So thank you for.
I've got the ice pack on it. We're good.
Oh my God. So what I was demonstrating here was that you can stop the animation at any time. And then once you stop the animation, you can rotate the model, you can walk around the model, and you can keep explaining while the animation is.
Put the connective on there.
I'm sorry?
Put the connective around the knee.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't actually, so in the animations, you can't add structures because those animations are already recorded or done. So you can't manipulate the animation itself, but you do have other animations with muscles attached and connective tissues. So you can select from different animations to see the overall image of it. What I'm showing here, and I wanted to point it out, this is our quiz. So this is the USMLE style clinical anatomy questions assessment. The particular thing about the assessment is that you are not selecting the correct answer from the distractors, from the options that you have available, but you have to select the correct answer directly from the model. So you have to perform a virtual dissection in order to find the correct structure on the model, which is really unique. We are the only ones having this type of quiz.
I was actually going to ask you about the pre-prepared quizzes, which is great, because I think a lot of educators too would say, well, is this all is this pretty self-sufficient? Could I hand this to a student and say complete this library and this library, or is it an exploratory where the teacher needs to assign, go in there, look at the liver, go in there, look at the lungs?
It is quite this can very, very well serve for self-directed study and self-assessment. So it's completely self-sufficient. So you go to the quiz and you select the body systems you want to cover within the quiz. So you don't have to go to nervous system. You can just maybe have questions related to the skeletal and muscular system, for example. And so you select the number of questions, and then you select the time available. Let me stop sharing my screen so we can see each other. There was a short demo I've prepared for you.
No, that's great.
Yeah. So just going back to the quiz, you can then select the number of questions, the time available. You can even select the difficulty. So you have the option to show the distractors or not. So there may be no options available at all. And then you go to the model and do the quiz. You submit the answer and you go next to another one. And the good thing is that when you review the results of the quiz, you have the correct answer highlighted on the model, and all the other structures are faded. You can still work with the model even in X-ray mode, and you have the explanation and also analytics of all your past quizzes. You can go back to any quiz you did before and go through all the questions. This is a really nice way of how you can review your knowledge. You can do this in real time, so the educator can assess the students by, let's say, projecting the content to a bigger screen and do the quiz together in the classroom. Or we can have.
You have so many assets already built. How interesting would it be, and maybe you've thought of this, but how interesting would it be to actually do a diagnostic tool in there too? Ultrasound's great, but diagnostic, like you get a body comes up and it shows that there's a flare right here periodically, and then you do a diagnostic on that, and like you walk through and pull things apart until you find the damage, right, or something that's happening. I mean,
What,
what
yeah,
a
it would be
great
amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Those are
diagnostic.
new other things to think about
Yeah.
for the future. But when you mentioned about the pathologies, maybe so we are adding in this edition 2022,
Nice.
in the next few weeks, we are adding pathologies.
Oh, that's great.
And also clinical imaging, also histology slides. So all those will aid, will help the educators and students to.
Yeah. You guys are just coming along so fast this last year. It's been great to watch you.
Thank you,
Well,
Jay.
we're just about out of time today.
Yeah.
Everybody here in the Infiniverse, I want to say thanks for joining us. If you're watching this on the YouTube after we've released it after today, then I would love if you went back into the Infiniverse, located in Multiverse, and go over to Krystyna's or 3D Organon's store or room that is there, and the waiting room by VetX there too. So anyway, thank you everybody. Thank you, Krystyna. Wonderful. I'm so excited to see this roll out at some of the schools that are part of our ecosphere now. So
thank you, Jay. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having us. I hope to see more and more educators and educational institutions using 3D Organon and VR applications in their education program soon. Yeah. Thank
excellent.
you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.